Good morning everyone. On this occasion we will teach you how to set up a computer step by step, whether multimedia, basic or gaming. Let's start. First of all, we will teach them the necessary components to make the computer. We will teach you the versions of the three different types of computers. Let's start. RAM. As you can see, this is RAM. RAM is mainly used to open many things without the processor having to do all the works. If you can see, there's a type of RAM of different size. 4 GB are usually for basic computers, 8 multimedia, and 16 and 32 for gaming. Okay, let's continue. The motherboard. The main function of the board is to connect all the devices and components in the computer. Here we have several versions for different equipments. Now we got the hard drive. It is the one that stores the data of the computer, which will keep all your private files, images, photos, programs, etc. This depends only on how much space you want. There is not better or worse. They just have more space. We continue with the CPU. The CPU is responsible for interpreting the instruction of a computer program. There are several CPU series. Here we leave the corresponding for each team. Basic, multimedia, and gaming. Okay, the CPU fan. We continue with the CPU fan that, as its name suggests, it's cooled the processor so that it does not overheat. Normally they usually come with the CPU, but we'll leave you a few. Now we continue with the graphic card. The graphic is responsible for communication between the motherboard and our monitor, so we can see the image. Here are the possible types of a graphic card. This is for basic, for multimedia, and for gaming. We continue with the power supply, which is probably the most important component of the computer. The main function is to supply power to the computer so that it can work properly. In this case, it is not that there is a better source than another. They simply have some more power than others. There's some of these power supplies.
We continue with the box, which is where everything that is the PC will be. Here we leave you some models for its corresponding chip. And we ended up with the DVD player that is currently almost unused unless you use CD. Here is some kinds of reader. Now we will start the assembly of the computer. We will first assemble the components of the motherboard to part, and then we will put in the box already assembled. We will start by assembling the processor and the CPU. Is it not that it is very difficult to mount the PC? You only need the SIR and patience. Well, to mount the CPU, just open the socket and place the chip. After seeing this done, close it. Now we continue with the fan. To connect the fan, we will have to put it on top of the CPU and fit the screws in their corresponding place. Once the fan is connected, it will only need to connect into the board. We continue to assemble the RAM, the graphics card and the network card. These are the ACS components to assemble, because all I have to do is connect to their corresponding slots and TIG. When you hear a clack, means that it will be connected and will place it. Once this is done, we will have the plate ready to be placed in the box. When we have the plate mounted and the box ready, all we have to do is screw the base plate to the box. Once the base plate is screwed, we will have to screw the graphics card to the motherboard. After to see screwed everything, we will need to put the source, the hard disk, the DVD player, and connect all the cables.
We continue with the hard disk. The hard disk is as simple as putting it in this corresponding place and scratching it. When scratching it, we have to be careful not to move. Then we will use and screw the DVD player too, in such a way that the hard disk remains and the reader stable. After having scratched all the peripherals, you need to connect the corresponding connectors to the motherboard, the DVD player, the hard disk, the box. Once all the cables are connected, we will place and screw the power supply. Normally, there is usually a hole in the box to place it. After having connected the source, we have to connect it to the board. The same with the fan, the Molex cable, supply motherboard, and SATA supply. And finish putting the SATA cable. Once everything is finished, it would only be necessary to close the computer. We screwing the box. And check if it works.